Wednesday, A1 Live. Catch us on weareA1.com.
You got it?
I'm gonna jump in there too.
Hey, Action Squad in the building. That boy J Norm.
Holla at your boy.
WeareA1.com. Y'all tune in right now. 8 o'clock every Wednesday night. It's going down on A1 Live. Your girl J Nicole, your boy Atumra. We got the entire Action Squad in the building. So y'all go ahead and tune in, comment, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your granny, tell your uncle, everybody.
And bring me some tacos.
And get in the action.
If you want to be an artist, you know what I'm saying?
You're tuned into the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
Trying to control the masses, but I'm still skipping the classes, so I don't have to listen to the madness. With my headphones on, the beats blaring, I shine like the sun in your eyes, they keep staring, blowing on a spliff as the world spins.
Action One, doing it for the culture.
Get in the action at weareA1.com.
Hey yo. Back in this thing again, A1 Live. We appreciate everybody that's checking us out via Facebook Live. Everybody checking us out on weareA1.com. Make sure that you go on Google Play and get the app. You know what I'm saying? The app is out now. You know what I'm saying? Apple coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Tell them quit making us jump through them loops because we coming, man. You know what I'm saying?
Tiny GB.
Acting bad on them, run up the bag on them, press the gas on them, hit the dash on them. Y'all trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' knock me. Acting bad on them, run up the bag on them, press the gas on them, hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money, y'all ain't gon' knock me. See y'all done messed up. Put some respect on my name. See why they mad at me? I'm trying to make a little change. This for all my workers, working for minimum wage. I can't be nice to them. Y'all gotta feel my rage. How you gonna count me out? I got hit after hit, showing that fake love. They been thinking they slick. I be Uber trapping, getting my money legit. And my bow tie shining. I don't put ice on my wrist. They be side talking. I be hearing the words. See my parents die. I done been through the worst. All these fake rappers, they be getting on my nerves. Southside still holding up. Had to go hard on my verse. Acting bad on them. Run up the bag on them. Press the gas on them. Hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' knock me. Acting bad on them. Run up the bag on them. Press the gas on them. Hit the dash on them. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' stop me. I'm trying to get the money. Y'all ain't gon' knock me.
On weareA1.com/TV. Shout out to everybody on YouTube checking us out, Facebook, Twitter, everything, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure that y'all are going to the website and subscribing. Y'all are becoming members, and y'all are sponsoring all of these wonderful shows that we have here on the A1 platform. J Nicole.
Yeah.
What's up, sis?
Man, it's a wonderful day, beautiful day in H-Town. Just happy to be alive and amongst all these beautiful melanated people.
Hey, we got something for them today. Huh?
We do. Y'all not ready.
Yeah.
Get ready, though.
They ain't ready, man. Man, it's been so many headlines this week. You know what I'm saying, from your boy Twitter Fingers, aka 45. You know what I'm saying? Always pushing.
Even Cheeto dust everywhere.
Yeah,
he go.
always pushing somebody, and then of course, you know me, always getting in trouble for saying
Always
something.
trolling.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like they finally got that boy Kales, man.
Oh man,
Which should have been done.
it should have been done like in the 90s. It was 2000s, early 2000s or something like that. You know.
Man, all I know is, man,
They have proof.
man,
Video proof.
Yeah,
Lots
man,
of it.
Yeah, it's over with.
Ugh.
It's over with. You know what I'm saying?
But are people still gonna be jamming his music though? Do
I
you
mean-
take away? Do you discredit the art from the artist? How does that go?
Well, this is definitely gonna be a question I like to pose to our special guest that we have here today. But you know what I'm saying, like it's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying, with certain artists, especially people like him, because not only are you talking about his music, man, when you look into all the songs that he kind of wrote and he had his hand on, and I know that's always you know what I'm saying, a touchy subject. For me, you know, music is always a mood thing. So, you know what I'm saying, the artist isn't necessarily connected to it. But, you know, I do understand, you know, why, you know, people would, you know what I'm saying, you know, because, you know, the songs just mean different. You know,
But when you have these accusations against you, and then they play some of the music that you've written,
I don't know, man. Hey, you know, I thought Kels was canceled last time, and I went to MLK parade, and they was playing "Step in the Name of Love."
They were stepping in the name of love.
You know, you gotta step.
You gotta step in the right name of love, not the wrong name.
Yeah,
of love.
and step in the legal name of love.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
The legal name.
For sure. Man, J. Nicole, man. We got something going down.
Yes, man. You guys have to be ready, and you have to get your tickets
now.
Right now. Stop what you're doing. You know, keep watching A1 Live, but stop what you're doing and go to weareA1.com to buy your tickets to the Action One Media first anniversary concert. We have some of the hottest, livest independent artists bringing to you an amazing concert, you know. So definitely go online, weareA1.com, buy your tickets right now. Early bird tickets are only $10. So if you miss out on this, you should just go shoot yourself.
Yeah, man.
Not really though, because I love you, but you know.
Man, what date is that going down?
It's going down on August the 3rd, which is a Saturday, 7 p.m. at the one and only High Volume Music live off of Alameda, Genoa.
Man. And speaking of High Volume Music live, before we go to our break, man, I had to make sure that you know what I'm saying, with this special event coming up.
Look at this intro, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Not only because, you know, I got a lot of love and respect, you know what I'm saying, for what I've seen this brother do, even though I've only known him a short amount of time. Y'all know me. I go look at everybody's resume. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
I seen the work that this brother has put in. I've seen the knowledge that he has firsthand as far as it pertains to the music industry, and also event setup and facilitation. But most of all, man, his sponsorship game is on pack, because I know every time I logged on to Facebook, I was getting invited to come to this event, man. Got the one and only Ant Boogie in the building. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Y'all doing all right?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
We doing good now that you're here.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, anybody
I feel good.
Hey, anybody that saw the footage and everything that went down at our Getting the Action brunch, it was at High Volume Music Lounge.
And thank you again for that.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, man. Man, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. Just, you know, feeling good.
Yeah. Excited. I know you're excited.
I'm very excited, man. My life is good right now. I'll be 52 Friday.
Man,
52.
My birthday is Friday. I'll be 52. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm 52. I feel like I'll probably be about 25, 30, somewhere around
I'm
there.
trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling good. So a lot of great things going on in my life right now. My band is doing some amazing things. I'm working with some artists that are doing some amazing things. So I'm just excited. You know, my band has been around 20 years.
Woo!
We're celebrating 20 years. But
Ain't they?
I started in the music industry when I was 15.
Yeah.
15 years old, and I'm still here, and I've done a little bit of everything from marketing, promotions, to production, to writing articles for magazines, studio work, and performing, of course, and everything. And like I've done every aspect of it.
Man.
A real H-Town legend
Real
right
H-Town
here.
legend, man. Well, man, we finna roll into a quick break, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk a little bit about your history and just some of the things that you're doing, not only in the music game but also within the community.
Okay.
Brother Atum Ra, we are A1.com.
Yeah.
RJQ, what's up?
You're tuned in to the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
We can do what we like. So come by. I love it when you come by. I love it when you come by.
But I just took a trip, went and saw the truth. You should get a ride on mamas. I'm the best thing I done used to since Hakeem, Elijah, Warner, me and Nine.
This is everything, this is where the race. This is my medicine, this is you and me. Everybody don't sing.
He says he loves it when I'm natural. He loves it.
Trying to control the masses, but I'm still skipping the classes, so I don't have to listen to the madness. So much value in who you are. You should know it's okay to take your time.
Action One, doing it for the culture.
Get in the action at weareA1.com.
Action One, inspiring action. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Yeah.
A1 Live, man. It's your brother Atum Rod, J. Nicole, Action Jackson, RJ, always holding us down, man. We in the place to be with the one and only Ant Boogie. You know what I'm saying? And of course, man, you know, one thing I love about you, man, is, you know, you talk about legacy. You know, I remember the first time that I met you, and you know, you had some of those same tendencies from my parents that I try to have with my kids as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Having your family there with you, you know what I'm saying, as you build.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying, that's an important thing. So, man, when did you first, you know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, who you got right there with you, man?
This is my son. This is my 16-year-old son, Prince T'Challa.
Yeah.
And that is his real name.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He's a junior at HSPVA.
Okay.
High School for Performing and well, I think we have to say Kinder High School for Performing and Visual.
Somebody drop that check.
He's a multi-instrumentalist and a vocalist. Plays multiple instruments and everything, and he writes as well.
Wow.
And he's learning how to do production.
Amazing.
Man. So what's up, bro? What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much.
Yeah, chilling.
Nothing much but a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah, man. Nah,
This is his first interview, so go easy on him.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You're at home, baby. You're at home.
I got roasted, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, when did you first get into the? I want to. Let's rewind before you got into the music game. When did you first start playing instruments? And,
Oh, man.
you know, realize that you had that talent.
When I was young, little bitty, 5 or 6 years old, man, my mom and dad, my brother, they were always playing music in the house, everything. It wasn't just one genre. We would hear country, we would hear rock and roll, gospel, blues, jazz, and everything. And B.B. King and Freddie King, I don't know if y'all know who Freddie King is, but he's one of the greatest blues guitarists to ever walk the planet, from Dallas. He's deceased, but grew up listening to a lot of Freddie King and B.B. King, Albert King. We always call them the three kings in the house.
Yeah.
And they made me fall in love with the guitar. And I was never into sports. I'm still not into sports. You can ask me what I think about whoever, and I'll be like, who? I could care less about sports.
So we shouldn't ask you about these trades that just happened.
Yeah, because I don't even know what trades you're talking about. So I made my first guitar, I made it from a Frisbee and rubber bands.
Yeah.
I had 6 different size rubber bands, and I was determined to learn how to play guitar. And then the 70s, man, when I heard Prince for the first time, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is, I was, a lot of people don't remember, when Prince dropped his first album, but I was there. Like, I still have it.
Man.
And I listened to that album over and over. And Curtis Mayfield and, all these amazing artists, Stevie Wonder, of course, Elton John. And then the 80s rolled around, man, and Duran Duran came on the scene, NXS came on the scene, Culture Club, and, so many, of course, Michael Jackson. It just solidified my love for music, and wanting to play guitar and write. I started writing when I was a teenager. I would write poems for the ladies.
Of course.
I would put music to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I can see Ant Boogie as a young lad.
I've always been a true believer in love.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard for me to hate someone.
Yeah.
I don't even hate the guy in the White House right now. Like, it's just hard for me to hate.
I just hate him leaving all that Cheetos things everywhere. He
Right.
That's what I hate.
Yeah, so
he ain't no different from the rest of the races before.
Yeah,
wipe the Cheeto dust off the table.
So I started working in music, music retail. I was a writer at the Houston Forward Times for a while, writing reviews, and then I got hired by Capitol Records back in the day to write bios for artists. So I did like the College Boys. I don't even know if y'all remember the College Boys from Houston. Back in the day, the College Boys, Ideal. I'm still friends with some of the guys in Ideal. And I actually did a bio for H-Town back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember H-Town.
Oh yeah, most of that.
They didn't use it, but I did it, and I got paid for it. So so that was a cool thing. So I learned as much about the industry as I could, and I'm still learning about the industry, and young artists like my son and Cadency over there and others. I try to impart different wisdoms when I get the opportunity to talk to them about the music industry, and I try to get people to understand that music is just the neighborhood you're from.
Right.
If your music is done the right way, it can reach people around the world.
Man, so who are some people that you played with? Because I know.
God.
I mean, just as just for the people. I know you. You know what I'm saying. You broken some of this down to me, man.
I have worked in the studio or I've done marketing and promotions for Maxwell, Eric Benet, Destiny's Child, Jagged Edge, 3-6 Mafia. Oh my God, what was the young lady name from 3-6 Mafia? We were buddies at one time. I don't even know if y'all remember 3-6 Mafia.
Of course.
I remember
Gangsta Boo.
Oh yeah,
Gangsta Boo.
What's up?
Yeah, that was my bud. I remember. I remember. I called her one day. The image that people portray is so different from what they are in the hip hop world.
Of course, what's that?
And I called her one day, and her dad answered the phone. I was like, "Hey, man, please speak to Gangsta Boo." He's like, "Who the Joe call over here has Gangsta Boo? You call up by her name." I was like, "Yes, sir."
That's a real daddy right there.
Like me. Yep.
That's a real daddy.
So but yeah, I mean, I've worked with a who's who. I've worked with every major label in the country. There was a time when we had 6 major distributors and they all had labels, and I've worked with all of them. I was instrumental in breaking Desiree's single "You Gotta Be" in the Houston market.
Okay.
I was also instrumental in breaking "No No No" by Destiny's Child.
Man. That was a banger.
And man, let me tell you, working with Matthew Knowles and Beyonce and them back in the day was just man, it was an experience that I'll never forget because Matthew he took me under his wing and taught me a lot about the industry, and the wisdom that he imparted on me, I try to impart on artists that's coming behind me.
Right, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like each one teach one.
Right.
You know, so I mean, and Matthew is the one who taught me the importance of publishing and everything. And then watching what Prince and Motley Crue and so many other rock bands and artists went through as far as publishing is concerned, it really taught me a lot, because I study artists. I don't just study their music, but I get into what makes an artist an artist. I don't care if it's the Eagles, if it's Elton John, if it's Prince, and, you know, that's the only way you get knowledge. If you stay stuck on one genre, like let's say hip hop, for instance, because so many people are into hip hop, you're not gonna learn the world of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
so,
music is universal.
Exactly.
Right.
So, you know, I remember having a conversation with Ice Cube back in the day about
but just drop that like it's nothing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I was talking to
Ice
Cube.
Cube,
It was a good day. It was a good day.
I don't just go around talking to you like, yeah, I used to.
We be clubbing. We be clubbing. You know.
Yeah. You know, but you know, there's so many artists that have taught me a thing or two. But one of the main things that I've learned through the years is to be kind to each and every person you meet, because you don't know who that person might become.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. We felt that, man.
Right,
we felt that
right.
from the first minute, you know what I'm saying?
So
I love
I
Ant
try to
Boogie,
be
y'all.
nice. To me, everybody is family, unless you give me a reason to not feel like you're family.
Right.
I love everybody. I don't have a hateful bone in my body.
Most definitely.
You know, I don't have a hateful bone in my body, but you know, and this music industry has taken me places I never thought I would go.
Right.
You know, I've toured with George Clinton, opening up for him. Yeah. We opened up for George Clinton in Louisiana and in Florida.
Man, I wish I could have been on that too.
I know, right?
Man, let me tell you, wild. And you know, it was a music festival in Florida.
Smoke.
You know, we talking people in bathing suits, bikinis, muscle men walking around. We out there. And the joy of it all was being able to play in another city, in another state, and do my music.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We weren't touring as a cover band.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
that was like wonderful. And we've opened up for the Los Lonely Boys in Texarkana. Johnny Taylor, the late great Johnny Taylor.
These last $2, baby.
Yeah. We opened up
I ain't
for
gonna
him in was it Dallas? Dallas, I think.
Yeah.
No, it was New Orleans. We opened up for him in New Orleans.
Man, that's
That's a resume right there.
Yeah. See, like when I told y'all, man, this resume was tough, man. I told y'all.
If you don't know who he is, you know now.
Right.
After my son came along, I was like, okay, I got to slow down a little bit. I got to raise my son, because I remember talking to B.B. King. Yes, name dropping be damned.
Yeah.
Terrence Trent D'Arby said one time, name dropping be damned. But I interviewed B.B. King for the Houston Forward Times newspaper. And he said one of the things that he regretted most in life, because he has a lot of kids, was not being able to see any of his kids grow up. And it's like you have to choose
some
either
real
or.
advice right
You
there.
have to choose either or. So I chose my son. I was like, I'm
definitely.
going to slow it down for a minute, you know. But I still have I've kept my finger on the pulse of music since I was a teenager.
Most definitely.
You know, and whatever money I've made, I've reinvested it in business and music and everything. So I didn't want to just be one of those
You're smart.
washed up has-been artists. Like,
Yeah.
whatever happened to that dude, Ant Boogie? Ant Boogie is
be
alive
gone.
and
That might be
well, you
gone.
know.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, we've never had a hit record in the States, never. But I've had maybe 10 songs, 10, 12 songs played in foreign countries. You know.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful
they
thing.
eat it up.
Oh my
They eat it
God.
up.
Oh
They
my
eat it
God.
up.
I'm planning on taking a trip to Ireland later this year. I was just telling Antic, who co-wrote one of the first hits. Running Away. It was huge in Ireland. I was telling her I guess it was last week. I said, look, make sure you have your passport because I'm ready now. I got
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got it. We gotta go.
Gotta go cross some seas.
Our latest 2 singles. Well, we have another single that's out, but we had a song called "Let It Ride," which was probably our biggest hit to date. It was like Japan, Ireland, England. I mean, people ate it up. Right. And we have a new song. It's an instrumental called "My Sweet Thing." Okay. And I wrote the song years ago for my wife and recorded it. Never released it. Just you know, it was just something between us. Right. We used to have little nicknames for each other. I was her cinnamon roll or honey bun or whatever, and she was my sweet thing. Right. So
not for you diabetics out there.
I was like, you know, I have a lot of new music that I'm working on that I want to go in the studio and record, but I need to get quote unquote back out there, let people know, hey, you know, we still here. So I went in the vaults.
Right.
I'm
like, I know you got some.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I got songs that's been recorded that haven't been released. Right. You know, so I released.
They knew.
Right. So I released My Sweet Thing about 2 months ago, and it was rejected by every radio station in Houston that I sent it to, with the exception of KPFT. Yeah, Shouts to KPFT. Yeah, of course. My boy Chris Whaley, I love you, man.
Yeah, KPFT hold it down.
Yeah. So, but of course I shopped it to radio station.
Right.
Huge. Like streams, airplay, everything. I was like, what? Right. You know, I'm getting like your song just played on da 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 da, and I'm like, what? You know, you get those little royalty checks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I should have been done released this.
Thanks. You got any more in there?
I should have been done that.
I'm about to say, why you looking like you got some more in there? I know you got some more for me.
Yeah, so we can drop. So my plan is every other month to drop a single for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we dropped My Sweet Thing, and we re-released another song called It's Too Late, because when I released it, I didn't really work it. I was like, I'm just going to put this out there. If somebody buy it, they buy it. You know, but we re-released that, and it's selling well and streaming as well.
Yeah, streaming.
That's
streaming
it. That's it.
Man, hey, Prince, let me ask you, man. You know, because you kind of sound like me growing up, man. Just because, you know, now you got, you know, I want to ask you, like, what type of music, you know what I'm saying, do you listen to? Just because for me, I was born in 86, right? But I came up, you know, in the 90s hip-hop era, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, all Wu-Tang, everybody, you know what I'm saying, that you can think of, you know what I'm saying, that was my era of hip-hop. But, you know what I'm saying, within my house, it was only Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was only, you know, it was talking about funk, you know what I'm saying? Like like if it wasn't on a record, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't listening to it in our house. You know what I'm saying? Now when I left the house and go with my friends and everything, yeah, I can listen to, you know what I'm saying, Screw, 3-6 Mafia, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But in the house it was
Gangsta Boo, I love you, but I miss you.
But in the crib, you know what I'm saying, it was nothing but the old school hits, man. Yes. So like what kind of music are you into, bro?
Well, since I do have like a subscription to Apple Music, I listen to all kinds of genre. Right. Like, people will be surprised when I say I love to listen to death metal. Okay. They just get so surprised. They're like, I would never expect that. But I listen to pop and reggae and everything, because every genre of music has something to offer and something interesting to learn about from it.
Man, spoken like a true musician, man. What instruments do you play?
Let me tell you something real crazy. The other day we were at the house alone, and I heard Billie Holiday coming from somewhere in the house. Yeah. I was like, where is that coming from? I opened the door. He was playing Billie Holiday on vinyl.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I like that's my boy.
Hey, I know you're proud, man. I'm be proud, man. Hey, what instruments do you play, man?
So I play ukulele, piano, a little bit of guitar, a flute-like instrument called the ocarina.
Okay.
and of course I sing as well.
Oh man!
Let me hear you busting up. I'm just joking.
Nah, man, don't do that.
We gonna save that for the people.
Yeah, and we can't. We
gonna bless them later.
We don't want YouTube to stop us, man. You know? Gotta give them the royalties, man. So, man, hey, Boogie, man. Collective Hallucination.
My
you know
baby.
what I'm saying? I see that it's bigger than a band. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than, it seems, it's just bigger than just you yourself. It seems like a collective movement. Can you just let the people know, like, what is Collective Hallucination and, you know, just about the events you have coming up this weekend?
So I started Collective Hallucination 20 years ago, November, 20 years ago. And my idea, I always wanted to front a band, but I always wanted to front a band while I was doing my own music, writing my own music. But I'm a huge Incognito fan. Y'all look that up, Incognito and Loose Ends. And I wanted to model my band after Incognito, which is like, for me, I know a lot of people think it might be Prince, which it is. But Incognito is a huge influence on my style of writing and my band image and everything. Like I love Incognito. So I formed the band, and like you said, it's a collective because I work with multiple musicians, multiple vocalists, rappers, producers, everything. Because I feel like everybody can bring something out of everybody.
Right.
And when I get around artists who are greater than me, I love to challenge myself and push myself to be a better writer, better musician, better guitar player, better performer. Like Miss Antic over there, she's one of the most amazing performers you'll ever see. She got on the stage. You got to bring the heat. You got to bring the heat.
You got to step up.
My bass player Osakwe, we call him King Osakwe. Like when he plays, it's like, okay, you got to be flawless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because dude is so dope. So I work with a lot of amazing artists, like I said, who push me to be greater, to be better. And I feel like if I'm still playing guitar the same way I was 6 months ago, I'm not doing anything.
Right.
So I practice every day, my craft. And, if I'm still playing guitar the way I was 20 years ago, I need to stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need to stop. So we have bunch of music out. Y'all can look us up on Amazon Music and all streaming services. We have a lot of music out. And we are celebrating 20 years this Saturday.
This Saturday,
This
Saturday. Got tickets out there right now.
Yes, just go to Eventbrite and type in hashtag CH2O for the anniversary. It's going to be amazing. I have my very first vocalist that was in my band. She'll be performing along with Antic. One of my favorite bass players, B-Funk. He'll be in the building. It's going to be phenomenal. And we have new artists performing with us, Cadency, and of course my son Prince.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like bridging the gap. It's like bringing it all together. This is where we were.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are.
Yeah.
So we'll be going through the Collective Hallucination catalog, doing some old music, stuff that should have been a hit here in America.
Yeah.
And then we're ending the show with new music.
Okay.
That hasn't even been recorded yet.
Okay.
So,
well, and you brought some wonderful artists with you. So,
yes,
man, we
love both
definitely
of them.
want to go ahead and get them on. But before we go to this next break, real quick, you outside of music, you also have a heart for the community and for people.
Yes.
And like I said, it's just kind of one of those things that go into the legend of Ant Boogie. And I just want to give you some time real quick before we go to the break to just kind of build on.
I'm very active in the Sunnyside community, South Park community, and I have a boarding home. I have 2 boarding homes for homeless vets and men with mental issues and drug and alcohol related issues called Jacob's Home. I named after my father, who was a World War II vet. And we do a lot of, I do well as my son, my wife, and people around me. We do a lot of community outreach. We feed people, we clothe people. I spend time with a lot of the ladies that walk the streets in Sunnyside to try to show them I don't preach to them. I don't try to teach them. I don't try to talk down to them.
Right.
I talk to them as a friend. Because I believe that each of us, we got to do our part, especially for the black community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, we have to help one another. If we don't help one another, we will never get out of where we are. I mean, we've come a long way in the past 400 years, but we still got a long way to go. So I spend a lot of time talking to people, feeding people, and I cook. I cook almost every day. Feeding people and just working with people. And I love working with people with mental issues. And a lot of people are like, you got to be a little touched to do that. But I guess I probably am.
Touched with love.
But look at Anthony over there shaking her head. But somebody that works. I mean, being a musician, I use both sides of my brain, so I have a big head. I have a big heart to go with
it. And if somebody wants to support Jacob's House, how can they do that?
Okay, so we have a Facebook page, Jacob's Home for Men. You can go to the Facebook page and like it, or you can call us at 832-882-8726, and we do accept donations, cash donations, food, clothing, everything. Because even though it's just for men, we also do a lot of outreach with women as well. Because you have a lot of mothers out there who can't get help. You have a lot of ladies out there who are homeless, on drugs, alcohol, trying to get off of it and everything. So, and I don't like turning my back to anybody. If I can help you, I'm going to help you.
Donations of all type are welcome.
I know someone who can help you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, man. Mr. Ant Boogie, man. Man, like I said, I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. I'm gonna be there, man. How can people contact you in order to either get tickets or also, if they're thinking about hosting the event at High Volume Music Live?
713-724-5199. That's my direct line. My sister always tell me, don't be giving anybody a phone number. Whatever, man.
They can get it off the internet anyway.
Call me. We're also on Facebook. We have a page for High Volume Music Live. So if you're on Facebook, just go to High Volume Music Live and like the page. And also my band, Collective Hallucination. So you can go to Collective Hallucination HTX and like the page and just keep up with us, because we have a lot of great things happening in the next 2 years. So it's going to be awesome.
Hey, man, and I'm excited, man, because A1 gonna be in the place to be, man. Make sure that we all down, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we got the one and only Ant Boogie, man. Your brother Atum Rob, man. We finna go into a break, man. Come back with some fire artists, man. We are A1.com. RJ, Q, what's up?
I am enough.
I am enough.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Girl power.
Girl power.
And I am worth it.
I am worth it.
Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Step in closer. Hug each other. Bye, guys.
Just relax and let it flow.
Saying holding it down, legend in the community.
For
And he
sure.
brought some friends with him. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the collective. So, ladies, man, this y'all first time up here at Action One. You know, can y'all just introduce yourselves? Let the people know who y'all are, where y'all from.
Well, my artist name is Cadence. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Yep.
I'm Antic Von Morphsing. I'm from Houston, from off that state, as they say.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You know, it's got some enough side in the building, man.
Yes.
We're gonna let you make it today.
Oh,
okay. Nah. I don't want no smoke, man. Yeah. Nah, for sure. Oh man. So
She from off that stage. You better stop playing with her, baby.
Yeah,
better stop playing with her.
I'm gonna let her. Yeah. I don't want no problems, man. I don't want no problems.
You don't want it.
Yeah. So you know, y'all rolling with the. How'd y'all hook up with Ant Boogie and Collective Hallucination?
Actually, I have a single that I released in February. It's called Cherry Bomb. It's actually my first
Cherry
official
Bomb.
single. And apparently, I don't know if it was one of the band members that contacted Ant Boogie, and he contacted me saying he loved the single, saying he wanted me to audition, and that's how it all happened.
Right.
I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't remember.
That's a great thing, man. It means longevity.
It's been
longevity. So you're both singers.
Yes.
No singers. Yes. Hey, how long have you both been singing?
Well, all of my life, I would say, just singing.
Right.
Professionally, three years. Just out and about live performances and such. So.
I came out the whole singing.
Yeah, you was already ready.
Yeah, I just.
Her cry wasn't actually a cry, y'all.
It was a sing.
Yeah.
It was an operatic, just. But honestly, I've been singing since I can remember. I can't remember not singing.
Man, hey, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So like we kind of seen like the music game, the R&B game, everything kind of evolve over time. What still kind of motivates both of you all to make music, even though times have kind of changed and moved away from the love music and everything like that?
I think really I have, I guess, a two-part answer to that question. I just love to sing. So I love music. There's an infinite amount of ways you can sing a song. There's an infinite amount of music on this earth, whether it's the crickets rubbing their legs together. There's always a song in something. And so that's my first part. And then the second part, because my child loves to sing. So to be that I guess that representation of what music is, of what melodic feeling is, I think that's very important to me, that my children get to see that.
Man.
I know that you're passionate about it, because I can tell from the way that you're talking and your facial expressions that you feel the music when you're singing it.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
That's real, man. Because I love to sing around my kids too, but they always tell me to shut up.
I would tell you to shut up too.
I sound pretty bad, but I love singing, man.
But music is not just about you sounding good. It's about how you feel, how you make people feel when you sound.
You trying to say I make people feel bad?
I didn't say it, but pretty much,
everybody in the studio shaking their head. I need 360. It's all right, man. Okay. It's all right, man. It's all love, man. So, man, since Jay Nicole, man, I'm surrounded by singers, man. What's one thing that you have to do to keep up your voice that a lot of people don't think that you have to do? Because some people just think that you naturally talented, you roll out of bed, you get up and you start blowing. But I know it's a process of taking care of yourself.
Definitely.
Necessarily eat right, be healthy, because a lot of that has to do with your breathing. If you're really breathy, you eating kind of like too much carbs. So I would say eating right is like the necessary tool to make sure your vocals are in the correct manner.
I have not had any type of carbonation for years. The carbonation eats away at your vocal cords. I practice hot yoga, so I do yoga in the heat. I will go sit in a sauna. I will do a dry sauna, and then I'll do the wet sauna to moisture and the vocal cords. Running and singing at the same time, that gives you the endurance.
Mm-hmm.
And Boogie will tell you, when I get on stage, I'm dancing, I'm moving pretty much, especially if it's a funky song.
Right. Yeah.
And so you don't want to be
yeah,
losing your breath while you're trying to dance. And I'm not talking to you right now. So anyway, you have to be
technology, baby.
Got somebody else on the show. Right?
She wanted to hop on. She's obedient. That's fine. She was being obedient, so she was answering. But so there's the physical aspect. There's the food intake, or swearing off certain foods. I don't do a lot of dairy because it also saturates your vocal cords and blocks. When you're trying to hit that G4 and you just can't do it because you ate all kind of cheese and whatnot. So, but yes, being mindful of your diet, your physical interaction, and being mindful of, like, when I have the show on Saturday, I will have my vocal cords covered up the whole day, even in the heat.
Are there times that you don't use your vocal cords at all to speak or anything like that?
Well, if I'm on vocal rest, because I do musicals, I do plays, so your voice, because you're projecting and you're trying to make sure that the back of the crowd hears what you're saying, you will blow your, if you're not careful and you do not engage your diaphragm and squeeze your booty cheeks together and to push it out, you will scratch your throat up, and so sometimes you have to go on vocal rest so you can be able to perform in the next 4 hours or 8 hours or tomorrow or whatever. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Man, that's real. Like I said, a lot of people don't realize, like, the people that have clear sounding voices, like I said, just what they put into it. I don't want y'all to give away, all your tricks of the trade. I don't mind. But what's one thing that you may do before a show if you start to feel throw a little scratchy or not feeling right? What are some kind of quick home remedies that you all may do?
I would say I actually get cough drops, honey with lemon cough drops. I also do tea. Either it can be green tea or just regular tea, and just add the honey. Sometimes add a little bit of cinnamon, ginger, all of it. It kind of coats your throat a little bit.
Right.
So I drink echinacea, which is actually the tea that they make for throat coat, which is echinacea, and then I add the honey as well as fresh ginger into the tea. So
there you have it for all you vocalists.
Man, what's that? I got one last question now for both of you all. What's one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you started in this game? Or if somebody was coming into this game now, what's a piece of advice, what you would give to them?
I would say you have to have the confidence. You can have the voice, you can have the performance style and the way you present yourself, but if you don't have that confidence, it will not come off right. It will not come off right.
Message.
That's one thing.
Right.
Because that's true. That's real life. Yeah.
I will say some of the singers that I do not think are the greatest singers, they had a hellified marketing team. Marketing, and more marketing. And so, because what we as non-musicians, I guess before you get to that point where you're really a musician, you do not realize that the radio ear, I call it the radio ear, is constantly feeding you the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
And so if you're not mindful, and if you do not diversify your ear, if you do not diversify your ear, whether it's classical, whether it's jazz, whether it's rock, whether it's Celtic music. If you do not diversify your ear, you will be caught in the radio ear, and you are now a victim of purified marketing.
Message.
It's broadcasting to cast a spell onto your mental state to make you think that this is what you want to hear. In actuality, you are being spoon-fed and brainwashed. And if you continue as a musician to allow your voice and your artistry to be dictated by this broadcast, then you're just basically a market guru. You're just a product of a market guru and not an actual artist.
Man. And that's why Action One is here, because we want to bust that
Facts.
up right
Facts.
now and bring you real music from real independent artists who have, from all genres. So
Facts. Man, most def, man. So so speaking of market, man, before you get out of here, I want both of y'all to give y'all social media handles, or just how people can purchase your music, follow you, see what you have going on.
Well, I am on social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My music is actually on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes.
And how they spell it?
KAYD0NCY.
See, that's why I knew it was something extra. Say it one more time.
KAYD0NCY.
Yeah. I really don't have a lot of marketing out there. You can find me on iTunes. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on YouTube. So I have multiple names out there. I'm Antic Von Marfsing. I'm also Integra Fox, Lady Antic, ANTICK, AN''TICK. So if you type that in, VON, Von Marf, MORPHXING, Antic Von Marfsing. There's none other like us.
Ooh, man, you something tough, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
I say, Ant Boogie, why you ain't telling me? I come up here messing with her, making jokes, man. About to get me beat up, man. Hey, man. Well, we appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure that, we get, y'all's music so that we can play, we can support. We're happy to be a part of the collective now, with the one and only Ant Boogie. So we'll definitely be working with y'all. And like I said, don't hesitate to hit us up whenever y'all want to come through, all right?
All right. And where can other artists submit their music online?
Hey, man, just go to weareA1.com, submit my music, big old button on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Because, I can't see, so they made it big. Submit your music to us. Right there on the screen. You see what it is. We play nothing but independent artists, on our station, on our platform. You're not going to hear any the same old that you hear because, like I said, we only supporting the underground, and we also only supporting good artists. Like I say all the time, just because you're my partner, I'm not finna play your music.
Nope.
Man. It gotta be dope, man. Well, we're finna roll into this next break and come back with Miss Vanessa Scott, your brother iTunes Rod. We are A1.com.
Yeah.
RJ, Q, what's up? Man, you still here? Go on and subscribe.
Get into action. Yo, we back at it again, baby.
What?
Get into action.
3.
Get into action.
Tell me what is the deal. So I challenge you today to start strong.
Get in the action.
Cause I'm calling for you.
Get in the action.
Can you feel that? See, I'm calling for you. Can you feel that? Yeah. See, I'm calling for you. Can you feel that? See, I'm calling for you.
You tuned in to the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
I lost me trying to find you, so I wrote this to remind you that I'm okay. I'm okay. I was lied to, but I tried to provide you with the things that only God can give. Only God can give. Plus I tried to revive you, but baby, how I'm supposed to breathe with no air? You know that ain't fair. That's why I had to learn to love myself. Baby girl, you should know it's okay to take your time. And baby boy, take it slow. You don't have to live a lie. You'll never find true love in someone. You'll never find true love until you truly learn to love yourself. Until you truly learn to love yourself. You'll never find true love in someone else until you truly learn to love yourself. Believe the signs when they show you, 'cause love will get heavy. If someone's not ready, yes, hearts will be broken, your faith will be tested. So keep on investing in you. And pain's not love, it requires much more than the eye can see. What I truly mean is that you've gotta love yourself before you love someone else. There's so much value in who you are. Baby girl, you should know it's okay to take your time. And baby boy, you gotta take it slow. You don't have to live a lie. You don't have to live a lie. You'll never find true love in someone else. You'll never. Until you truly learn to love yourself. Until you truly learn to You'll never find true love in someone else. Until you truly learn to love yourself. If I didn't love me then, I'm about to love me now. It took some time to get here, I'll never turn around. I had to shed some tears to appreciate the smiles. And pressure makes diamonds, you know I'm about to say. Baby girl, you should know it's okay to take your time. Baby girl, just take your time. Take it baby, or just take it slow. You don't have to live a lie. No, 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 no. Until you truly learn to love yourself. Until you truly learn to love yourself. Love yourself. Baby girl, you gotta love yourself. It's okay to take your test so much.
Action One, inspiring action. Hey yo, know me, I could do this, you know what I'm saying?
We not doing no 3-hour shows today.
Y'all know I could do this all day, every day, man. But you know what I'm saying, because you know, Action Jackson, you know, keep control of the botch.
Chop chop.
Yeah, chop chop, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been getting them in and out, man. I feel like my brother said, man. You know what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Sid, man. Conscious Mindset, man. Hey, you got a brother Sid show, man. That boy have like 30 people in an hour and a half, and he'll have everybody in the studio.
Everybody get to say something.
And everybody get to say something, man. But today is none other. You know what I'm saying? We've been promising y'all that we was gonna bring this person up here. Just because, we all need a little health and wellness in our life.
Yes.
And especially, when you're talking about within the melanated community, you know what I'm saying, health and wealth is even more important just because I think that a lot of those healthy habits, you know what I'm saying, aren't passed down, you know what I'm saying, generation to generation. And, that's one thing, just about me, being a parent, I have 4 kids, and, being able to kind of see the change in the tide, you know what I'm saying, from me to, what my kids want to eat. I mean, to the fact of, like, even, like, my youngest kids, like, when they're with other kids, like, everybody thinks that they're weird because they don't eat, you know what I'm saying, nothing. And the craziest thing about, like, especially, like, my 7-year-old son, like, he has, what he eats. You know what I'm saying? Like, he eats his, his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, his little crackers, his fruit. But, like, if somebody try to give him some chocolate or something, or he does eat chicken, but, you try to give him, like, any other kind of meat, like, this guy's gonna just, like, look at you with, like, utter disgust.
He's done it to me before.
Yeah, like, he looks at
like
you
literally.
with
like, I don't eat that.
Right. Yeah.
Excuse me, Sebastian.
Yeah. He not with it, man. But I definitely know it's one of those things that long term is going to be healthy. So, man, I got the one and only Miss Vanessa Scott in the building. How you doing today, sister?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very proud to hear a young melanated man talk about feeding his child healthy. And when they say train up a child in which he should go,
yes.
Well, with that, what you're doing is you're creating a legacy. And so when you have children, you're creating a healthy environment, a healthy lifestyle for your children. That's a legacy, because what they will do is take on those habits and take it to their children. So you are creating a generation of healthy people. That cuts down the generational curses of diabetes, obesity, cancers. And so that is what you're doing.
Right.
You're cutting that generational issue.
You hear like it, and especially like on like really on both sides of my family. It was like at one point in time people talked about something like diabetes, like it was something that was inevitable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get it, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I learned that's not the way that it goes.
Health is your wealth, and knowledge is your wealth. I mean, it's just as healthy for you to gain the knowledge and also apply it. That's wisdom. And so when you are taking on the habits, the healthy habits and lifestyles in your family, you're also cutting back, because we see a lot of children with ADHD, ADD, also with mental health issues. And to me, what happens, because I've even had to do this with my own daughter many years ago, when she was so-called pronounced with ADHD, is I had to take charge. That's my child. I couldn't sit back and listen to what the doctors were saying. That's my responsibility. And so what I had to do was do my research and change those habits. Instead of putting ground beef in spaghetti, I started putting zucchini and squash. You know, and so those are some things I had to do. So when I changed my habits, probably about maybe over 20 years ago.
I was just about to ask, before you started your company, when did you start practicing?
Well, let me give you a brief history.
About to say, you gotta break it down.
Well, I was in banking.
Let them know what you do.
Okay.
I was in banking for over 10 years, sitting at my desk. I was eating, this is it. Not one pork chop, but 2 pork chops. I had my banana pudding. And so I started gaining weight. I started having health issues. And I started thinking this is normal because I was getting older. And so, which was a lie. And so, what happened was a seed was planted. One of the co-workers came to my desk, and she gave me a brochure on colon hydrotherapy. Now, there's a difference between health conscious and no consciousness at all. So I took the brochure, and I made the phone call. I went and made my appointment. I started getting colon cleansing, and after my colon cleanse session, I would say, I would always ask the therapist, well, what do I eat? What do I eat? So she would say, start fruits and vegetables, smoothies, and over 20 plus years now, I'm still doing it. Not only do I do this, my children, my daughters, do this, and their children.
So what's in that one in particular?
This is strawberries, bananas, mangoes, and I have there's a electric cell nutrition product that I'll be selling, and it has herbal supplements that cleanses all of the organs, your spleen, your liver.
Man, so man, not to pry too much in your business, but you know what I'm saying, you just mentioned, so my wife been talking about the whole colon cleanse, and you know what I'm saying, trying to get me give me the go, and like most men, I'm kind of sensitive with my butt, so I haven't went, you know what I'm saying, but she's done it, and of course, this is probably why y'all live longer than us, and then also probably why married men live longer than single men, just because y'all kind of
made you do it.
Yeah, y'all kind of take us along the way. But what's the health benefits, or should I say, why should that be? Something that people should do? Because I've heard a lot of positive things about it. I just kind of get over myself and my own ego to do it, but
Well, with colon hydrotherapy, let me tell you this. When I first started, it literally changed my life. It changed my life. Before colon hydrotherapy, like I said, I was overweight. I had chronic fatigue. I had I thought I was like losing it. Like I would forget my keys and, in the car. And I was thinking, maybe I'm just getting older. So once I started with the cleansing, it opened my eyes because I had to make the changes. You have to make a conscious decision to make the changes. So what colon hydrotherapy does, you're talking about all 5 feet of your colon is being flushed with water. And of course, it goes through different channels. You can't, it's very non-invasive. And you're purging toxins that have been there for many years. Right. Many years. Right. And when you think about the benefits, you're talking about it loosens up the abdominal. Some people think they're getting fat in the abdominal area. It's not fat. You got 5 feet of colon. This is just your large intestines. You have gases. You have parasites that sits in there and creates eggs and creates a host of many other things, bacteria in your system. It actually helps with your libido. Men love that. I've seen. It helps.
Got y'all attention now.
Got about 3 more subscribers.
It helps with your libido. It helps with your energy. When I'm talking about energy, you are able to get up in the morning and you just pop up, and you're ready to go with your day. It helps with your skin. It helps with mental clarity. Just a host of things. You are able to really be able to have a fruitful and healthy lifestyle. It will not limit you to, it won't limit you to enjoying your life, enjoying your marriage, enjoying your children. You're able to have the energy you need to run after your own children.
And I know a lot of people out there are probably wondering, how does this lady know all this stuff, So why don't you tell them a little bit about, your background and the company that you run?
Well, my background is I started off, once I left the bank, I started off with becoming a certified colon hydrotherapist. Then I became a licensed massage therapist, and then I'm certified as a weight trainer. And I'm also board certified as a Christian counselor. So if you put all that together, the mind, body, and the spirit,
Total wellness.
because it's
True
about wholeness.
Yeah, true wholeness.
That's amazing.
So I started August 6th will be my first blog talk radio show.
Yeah.
And it is
Yeah.
called Walking in Wellness with Vanessa Scott.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely looking forward to the global listeners gaining some very insightful educational knowledge that they can apply to their lives and see the lives change. Your life actually change. It makes you a more positive person. When you're more positive, it attracts more positive people in your life. And that's what we
tell
need.
them, preach.
Yeah. She's dropping that science on
That
me.
energy, baby.
Yeah, that energy.
Good
man.
vibes only.
Good vibes, absolutely.
Yes.
Right. So, for a lot of people, hear about smoothies and things like that. What do you suggest to people that are new or that are thinking about trying it? Maybe it's the texture or whatever. What's some suggestions that you may have?
Well, typically when I'm suggesting when people are starting into the health and wellness community for their lifestyle, I usually say it starts in your mind. You have to change your paradigm because when you're not health conscious and you're trying to talk to someone that is not, you have to wean them into it slowly. So smoothies are the easiest things because most people have a blender if you're making margaritas or things like that.
Right.
People have a blender for something.
Right.
And so, and it's easy to, it's reasonable, it's inexpensive to have a blender. And so usually I'll tell them to either get almond milk, you can have walnut milk, hemp milk. Some people use orange juice. And you can add whatever fruits and vegetables you like. Typically, I use bananas, strawberries, blueberries. I use kale. I do sometimes put chia seeds.
I'm just gonna hold on to this.
So that's what I usually tell them to do. With smoothies, it takes a little bit longer for your body to digest. You can either do smoothies or you can do juice, and that's of course purchasing a juicer where you extracting the juice from the fruits and vegetables, and so it gets into your bloodstream faster and you reap your benefits faster. Like when I'm juicing, I can feel the juice in my eyes.
Oh wow.
So let me ask you, so what is one thing that you see that's kind of common that we give our kids, unconsciously, not knowing, but that we should absolutely stop giving our kids
White
tomorrow?
bread.
White bread.
White bread.
I say bread. Yeah.
White bread.
What's the reasoning behind that?
The gluten, and it's processed. It's definitely processed. So it's not the
no more white bread.
It was funny, man. Yeah. I think one time, my son went somewhere and somebody had made him a sandwich with some white bread, and he was just like, "What is
he's
that?"
Smart.
He's like, "What is
His body said no.
He said, the bread I normally eat is brown. Like, he didn't know what it was. He was just like,
what is the purpose of white bread, though? To be quite honest, why bread? You make bread as wheat. How did they turn it white? I mean, it's just a bleaching. I know it's just a bleaching process.
Just like salmon. Why would you have to put red dye into salmon?
Right.
We can do without the red dye because our body has to process that through our system. And if you're not working out, moving, getting your body going, how is your body going to flush all of those toxins that the people are putting in the food?
Right. So all of y'all need to go get your colon cleansed, period, and just start all the way over, okay?
Right. Man, I gotta ask you one last question because we're running out of time.
Okay.
But I want to know, you hear a lot of people talk about, I'm saying vegan, not eating meat or whatever. Like, what's your I guess opinions, or where do you fall on that? Like, should we be eating meat? Should we not be eating meat? I know it's partially with the meat we're eating and the process or whatever. But should we be vegan or should we not be vegan?
I can't say if you should be vegan or not, depending on what your health issues are. If you're having, I believe, if you're having chronic health issues, to just take some time away from the meat because your body has to process it. And if you're not flushing your system through your urine, through your breath, through your lungs, through your kidneys, through your bowels, and you're not getting any type of movement because you're having health issues, you definitely want to do something like a Daniel fast, a Daniel diet, where you're not eating meat, you're eating things that God created, the fruits, the vegetables, the nuts, certain grains, and drinking plenty of water, because water is extremely key. And some people ask, well, can I have coffee or can I have tea? And I always say, if God wanted something in the water, he would have put it there.
I mean, it's common sense. You know, a lot of stuff is common sense.
You need water for your cells. You need to be able to hydrate your system.
Man, so you starting the show. When and where can people catch that?
Okay, well, Walking in Wellness with Vanessa Scott is starting August 6th.
Okay.
It is on blogtalkradio.com/mcdnetwork.com.
Okay.
The number to tune in is 646-721-9678. Or either you can tune in online.
Okay, yeah. Hey, we gotta make sure that we show you love, because here they won. We talk a lot about independent artists, but we also support independent media outlets. Because we feel it's enough space out here. You know what I'm saying, for all of us to grow, all of us to eat. And anytime that you need somebody on to tell people what not to do health wise, you can invite me on. I'll probably be the residential expert on what not to eat. You know what I'm saying? Just
keep him far away, please. Don't bring
Bring me out. But if anybody wants to contact you for Therapeia or for any of your services, how can they reach out to you and how can they follow you?
Okay, well, Therapeia Health and Wellness. You can go online, you can Google it, or you can go on therapia.massageplanet.com.
Us in the loop, make sure that we can keep supporting you, and also that most importantly, like I said, we laugh and we joke a lot with everything, but like you said, health is wealth. And I think that, our community has been pretty impoverished, as far as it pertains to health. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate, those that you're looking to connect with to bring forward this information, because I don't think that people also realize the danger it is in putting truth to power. For a lot of us that do put it out there. So I commend you and I salute you for taking it to the next level. And hey, we here.
Definitely.
Man, Jay Nicole,
Man, only thing I have to say is get your tickets to the Action One Media first anniversary concert. It's going to be going down at High Volume Music Live on Saturday, August the 3rd at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this show. Some of Houston's hottest R&B and hip-hop acts are going to be gracing the stage. So get your tickets now. One more time, weareA1.com. Buy tickets.
Most def. And I'm going to do them one even greater, man. We're finna have 3 weeks of hotness at High Volume Music Live.
Yes.
This week we got Collective Hallucination going to be holding it down. Tickets out there now. Then the next week, you got Indie Friendly and the boy Sid the Man coming through.
Yeah.
Then right after that, we got A1's going to be in the building. So like I said, for these next 3 weeks.
Y'all might as well just pitch a tent.
I'm about to say, we finna
pitch
be.
a tent outside.
Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Get down. I'll meet at Genoa. It's going to be going down.
8405, baby.
Hey, man. Make sure that y'all supporting the other shows that we have on the platform. SG2 on Space goes down every Thursday at 8 p.m. Traveling TVMA to T, Saturdays at 2.
Yeah.
And hey, man, A1 Live, man. Hey,
every Wednesday at 8.
Hey, another week up, another week down. Remember, action, agility, life, and community. The new age of media. Jay Nicole, how we leave them every week.
Getting the action, baby.
Hey.
Yeah.
You tuned in to the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
got this feeling and it burns through my soul and it makes me feel all kinds of good. A simple feeling, and I just can't help myself. It just makes me feel all natural. From the way that I talk, yeah, and the way I lay my tracks, you would think I was from way back. He says I'm from another era, and I can't get with that. Baby girl, just be yourself, you'll rule the world. He wants me to be natural, baby. He wants me to be free. He says he loves it when I'm natural. He loves it. He loves it when I'm natural. Baby, he loves it. And I'm feeling for ya all the time. Just be yourself when I'm around. He says he loves it when I'm natural. Just be yourself, just be yourself. Ooh, just take your time. Ooh, you're not even 30 yet. Ooh, you're doing just fine. With life, take your time. Do it right. He says he loves it when I'm natural. He loves it. He loves it when I'm natural. Baby, he loves it. And I'm feeling for ya all the time. Just be yourself when I'm around. He says he loves it when I'm natural. Ooh, be natural. Ooh, don't be no fool, don't play yourself, just be yourself. Ooh, be natural. Yeah. Ooh, don't be no fool, don't play yourself, just be yourself. Ooh, be natural. Ooh, don't be no fool, don't play yourself, just be yourself. Ooh, be natural. He says he loves it when I'm natural. For ya all the time. Just be yourself when I'm around. He says he loves it when I'm natural. He loves it.
You're tuned in to the all-new Action One Network. Turn up your volume.
We can do what we like. So come by. I love it when you come by. I love it when you come by.
But I just took a trip, went and saw the truth. You should get a ride on mamas. I'm the best thing got in Houston since Hakeem, Elijah, Warner, me and Nine.
This is everything. This is where the race. This is my medicine. This is you and me. Everybody go sing.
He says he loves it when I'm natural. He loves it.
Trying to control the masses, but I'm still skipping the classes, so I don't have to listen to the madness. So much value in who you are. You should know it's okay to take your time.
Action One, doing it for the culture.